joined by Seth Holm with the DHL Supply Chain Pricing Power Index update. Talk about what you got going on today.
Thanks, Kyle. Yeah, let's talk about the DHL Supply Chain Pricing Power Index. So this week, we got a reading of 25. Last week, it was 30. The recent peak about a month or two ago was 45. We almost had a balanced market. So let me walk you through why it slipped a little bit this week. Basically, we had 4 negatives and 2 positives. So on the negative side, first, outbound tender volumes. Those are running up about 2.5% to 3% year over year. Pretty good on an absolute level, but that's down from 7% 2 weeks ago. Outbound tender rejections. Those were 5% last week. Those slipped down to about 4.69% this week. And the recent peak there at the same time was about 6% there. So that one's also slipping a little bit there. Same thing with spot rates. Spot rates are clocking in at about $1.39 a mile. Recent peak there is about $1.55. So those have been kind of on a downward trend there as well. And then lastly, economic data on the negative side. So this week we got September retail sales. We got a sort of a shaky, disappointing number there. Retail sales were down 0.3% month over month. Absolute level looks pretty good. It's up 4.1% year over year, but that's down from 4.4% last month and a recent peak of 6.5%. So the on balance, those are the negatives. So then turning to the positives, first we got GM and the UAW. It looks like we have a resolution there to the auto strike. So that should be a short-term boost to volumes and rates throughout that supply chain. And then secondly, stocks. So this week, turning to the second chart here. Here at the Freight Intel Group, we constructed our own proprietary truckload stock index here, and this is market cap weighted, as you can see here. And this overall index, on a weighted basis, was up 8% over the past week, which is really, really strong. S&P 500 only up about 2 or 3%, and that's coming on the back. We got a couple negative earnings reports, and yet the stocks were actually up. So maybe the market thinks that things, on a forward-looking basis are looking stronger. But for now, 25 this week from 30 last week.
Wow, that's 8%. You can't argue with that, can you?
No, I mean, if you kind of look here, a lot of these, you had a few that were down, but the vast majority were up, and some of them were almost up double digits on the week. So, obviously investors are optimistic about things looking forward.
So for the DHL Supply Chain Pricing Power Index, do you have a possible look ahead for next week? Anything?
Yeah, we do. We're still sitting at 50.
Yeah.
Although we're a little bit nervous about that 50 because it's been like 4 straight weeks that this has sort of been, weakening a little bit. But for now, our 3-month outlook is 50.
Well, thanks so much for coming back today and joining us. As always, make sure you stay tuned each week for your DHL Supply Chain Pricing Power Index update.